Hello and welcome. Today we're going to discuss Lesson 3 in Unit 1. The title is Elements Around Us. Before we discuss the lesson, we have to ask a question to ourselves. Can we extract any other substance from this iron nail? Can you? The answer is we cannot extract any new substance from this iron nail. So if I'm going to tell you, go and break this nail into two halves, it will not produce any other substances such as gold or silver. It will still remain iron. Why does that happen? Because the nail consists of iron only, which can't be decomposed into two or more other substances. We can't break iron and expect to find a new substance in return. Iron is only iron, and even if we break it or we decompose it, it will remain iron. This is why we call iron an element. An element is the simplest form of matter that can't be analyzed into two substances or more. It can't break down into new substances. These are the elements. Okay, so is there other elements other than iron? Yes, of course, there is. You can find aluminium element in spoon. You can find carbon element in coal, and you can find copper element in the electric wires. So these are the examples that you have that shows that not just iron is an element. No, there is aluminium, there is carbon, and there is copper. Okay, so we can say that elements can be classified according to their properties into metals and nonmetals. Examples of metals are solids like iron, copper, gold, silver, aluminium, and lead. And there is also liquid like mercury. From the examples of nonmetals, solids like sulfur, carbon, phosphorus, there is also liquids like bromine, gases like oxygen and nitrogen, and also there is a carbon dioxide. So, what are their properties? Let's see. So now we're going to study properties of metals and nonmetals. And also we will discuss the economic importance of some metals and nonmetals. Metals. They have 5 properties, and all of them are important. You have to study them very well. First, you have metals that they are shiny. First property, they are shiny, or we can say they have metallic luster. What does that mean? For example, in front of you there are spoons. These spoons are made of aluminium element, and aluminium is a metal. As you can see in front of you, they are shiny, or we can say they have metallic luster. They shine. Metals are also good conductors of electricity. What does that mean? We will see shortly after we discuss the property in nonmetal. You will see the difference between metals and nonmetals in conducting electricity. So the third one is metals are good conductors of heat. Metals have high melting point and boiling point. They're kind of related. So metals can conduct electricity and can conduct heat. Conducting heat means they allow heat to flow through them. Also, metals have high melting point. That means that it melts slowly, or we can say it can't melt easily. Of course, thinking of it, iron can't melt easily. Also, they have high boiling point. They can't be boiled easily. Last property, it says that metals are malleable or can be bent, or we can hammer it, so it's bendy, like it can't be curved. We will see shortly in an activity. These are the properties of metals. And you will notice that the non-metals have exactly the opposite of each property. Let's see. Non-metals, they're not shiny, so we can say they don't have metallic luster. For example, in these pencils, this gray area is called carbon. And carbon is a non-metal. Can you see them shiny? No, they're not shiny. So they don't have metallic luster. Non-metals are also bad conductors of electricity. Non-metals are bad conductor of heat. They have low melting point, so we can melt them easily. For example, ice is a non-metal. It can melt easily. They have low boiling point. And they are not malleable. They can't be bent. When you try to bend wood or try to bend carbon, it will break. So they're not flexible, so they're not malleable. Malleable means they can't be bent. Let's see an activity on the conducting of electricity for metals and non-metals. So the required items: iron rod, the coal, electric wires, and the bulb. It now is connecting the bulb with the electric wires and a battery, leaving one section in the wire so he can put the element such as the iron rod in front of you and see if electricity will work. Oh, the bulb lighten up, so this means that the rod, which is iron, which is metal, is a good conductor of electricity. Now he's trying it with coal, and it's not working. The bulb is not lighting up. This means that coal is a bad conductor of electricity, and coal is non-metal. So non-metals can't conduct electricity, but metals can conduct electricity. So now let's see the economic importance or uses of some metals and non-metals that we just discussed. This importance is based on the properties that we concluded from metals and non-metals. We start off with iron. Iron is used in making bridges, such as the picture you are seeing right now, lampposts, which is the street lights, car frames or cases, and doors. These are life applications that we use in our daily lives. They are made of iron because iron is a good conductor of heat, good conductor of electricity, malleable, has metallic luster, and have high melting point and boiling point. Next we have aluminium, which is used in making cooking pans, foil paper, and door knobs. Then we have copper. Copper is used in making electric wires, statues, metallic coins. Next, gold and silver are used in making jewelry. Last but not least is the carbon graphite, used in making positive electrode poles of dry cells. Don't forget that the carbon or graphite is the only non-metal which is good conductor of electricity. This is why it's used in making the positive electrode or pole of dry cells or batteries. Thank you for listening, and I hope you studied the lesson very well, and if you have any question, you need to discuss it with the teacher on Microsoft Teams or in the